I had to be like, yeah, it's black. But they'll continue.
Back in the day, yeah, no. Ronnie Coleman?
Yeah, I know who that is. I don't even know, but like Charles Glass,
no,
like.
But anyway, so his leg day, like he was like, you'll go to like 95%.
Mm-hmm.
Most people can get to about 95%.
Talk about it.
So you like Dragon Ball, right?
I know about Dragon Ball Z. Everybody.
Anime. I mean, like I've indulged back in my younger days.
Otaku.
I don't really do it too much anymore. But
I watch anime to this day.
I just don't have enough time, man.
Final Form Fitness is coming one day. That's all I gotta say. Final Form Fitness, don't take my idea.
But you know how you get to like a percentage, right?
Yeah.
And like once you get to that 100%, that's like your like Super Saiyan,
Super
Ultra
Saiyan,
instinct,
surpassing yourself.
Like.
But you have to like.
That's why I feel like Dragon Ball is like a representation of the weight room because like you're kind of like you have to push yourself past your limits every time to achieve something greater.
Exactly.
And
it's the only anime where they actually train, not like a training montage, but
it's
back
like
in the
you're
day,
training constantly to achieve this.
Their training is, if y'all never
it's
seen
like a next step, it's like a new level.
The old Dragon Ball Z, my God, like they're fighting, they're not just fighting, like they're fighting, but they're fighting at their hardest. So it was like if you get punched in the face, you're like, bro, nah, you done dodged that punch 35 times already. Why you being a bitch? Why are you being a bitch? But no, continue because you're right.
Well, okay, so yes, so going to failure. So I mean, if you're taking that muscle to failure, that is going to grow the muscle. You can't grow. I mean, you can grow the muscle just by moving the muscle fibers at first. But once you get into like weightlifting and you're in it for like a year plus, you have to train harder. That's the only way.
You gotta train harder.
If you're not seeing results in the gym, you're not training hard enough.
If you're not seeing results, you're not doing enough.
You're not training hard enough, or you're not eating enough, or you're not eating right either.
No, you're right.
And that is the cold hard truth that you have to accept in order to grow.
It's part of it. So for me, my mentor has talked about failure recently, and it's a different perspective. So we all know that they say, heavyweight, a few reps, lightweight, a lot of reps, right? Like
depends on what your goals are and what you're training.
Exactly. I'm about to go into that.
Because if you're doing like type 1 muscle, which is what I train, I train for hypertrophy.
Mm-hmm. Hypertrophy.
Hypertrophy.
Hypertrophy and hypertrophy, the same thing.
Hypertrophy. It's really hypertrophy.
Yeah.
For some reason, I wrote it in my head.
I want a hypertrophy. Give me a hypertrophy.
My brain, I don't
know.
No,
because we're from different regions, and everybody's like,
it's just
like someone from Canada is not gonna say it the same way. Like in
either
America.
way, that's the way that I train because I just want to be aesthetic. I like aesthetic bodybuilding. It's always just been my thing.
It's a thing.
Some people, I have great friends that are powerlifters. They go to U-Flex. That's a great gym.
Yeah.
They're just really strong people. They can lift a
strong ass dudes.
They can fucking
and ladies.
Yeah, and ladies. I know a lot of lady powerlifters that are scary motherfuckers.
They're scary. They're like, they have the ostrich leg. Like, if they kick you, you're
have
down.
Like shoulders that like are the same size as mine.
As yours.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, you want to arm wrestle? No, thank you. I like my pride.
I don't even want to risk it, bro.
I don't want to risk it, no. Like, why would you even ask me that? Like, you're a bully. That's what you are.
But yeah, so.
And I get it. So my version, what I've learned of failure, which just like my mentors taught me in like different aspects, right? So between 8, 10, and 12, right? So you have to pick, it's like, I'm probably gonna fuck it up, but it's your perceived rate of exertion. So you kind of have to know how much you're exerting yourself. So whatever you're doing is either 8, 10, or 12. So if you have a 100-pound max in the bench press, right? You need to figure out what weight you can do 8 times. And I'm talking about like you're doing 3 sets of 8, but like, yo, that last 4, that last 3 is like, oh, fuck. And you gotta wait a good second or a minute before, got you. You gotta wait a good second or a minute before you can do 8 more reps. And then your second set sucks, but you do 8 reps. And then your third set, you're like, fuck, can I do 8 reps? You like it's not like the way you said it is like you can.
Yeah.
No, because here's the kicker, right? 8's at the hardest level. When you get to 10, you're on the same weight. That means you got stronger, right? If I can only do 3 sets of 8, no matter what, I can only pump out 3 sets of 8. When I get strong enough to be able to do 3 sets of 10, congratulations, you're now stronger, right? And then he didn't tell me, but in my mind, right? Because he gives me like answers, but he's like, I want you to figure out and make your own regimen, right? Just to pass the torch.
That's one of the, I don't know if you've ever read or heard of the book, 48 Laws of Power or something like that.
Yeah, I know that shit.
I don't know if it's the 48, but it's something like that. It's like some number. But anyway, that's like one of the laws, is to get a mentor.
Get a mentor.
Because if you want to be great at something, you have to have somebody to teach you.
So let me tell you, because you're so right. Let me tell you what I've developed. It's not the 8, 10, 12 rule, because it's not a rule, it's just something I adopted. So in my mind, right, I'm not going to go up in a weight until 12 reps 3 sets of 12 seem too easy. So let's say, for example, I can bench press 225 easy, right? I know I can throw that shit up. If I can do 8 reps of 225 without...
Are those real jellyfish? Sorry, I didn't mean to...
They're not real jellyfish.
Oh, okay.
No, they're fake.
I didn't know.
It's a long story. It's just dope. I love it though. So if I can do, and I can, let me tell you right now, I would be stronger. No, I can be stronger, but I can throw up 225. My max right now is 320, but I can do 225 a couple times. But can I do 3 sets of 8? No. Can I wait a couple of times and keep doing it until I get 3 sets of 8? Yeah. But I can't do 3 sets of 8 properly, where it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, rest. And then repeat that easily.
That 6th one's gotta have that grunt.
That 6 gotta have that grunt, right? For me, no, it's real, because that's when you know you have the proper weight.
That's that like 3/4 of the way. Like I don't know if you know the
No,
mile.
yeah.
In the mile and track, it's like 4 laps. The 3rd lap is always the hardest.
The 3rd lap should be the hardest. So you're doing 3 sets.
One, you're just gassing it. You're just going.
Exactly.
Like, you're just like using everything.
And that's how the 3rd set.
Left.
That's how the 3rd set should be. So until you get strong enough to be like, man, fuck this 8. Until like I can do 8. So you're like,
That 5 and 6.
8, like that 5 and 6. Okay, okay, I'm good.
You're like 8. You're feeling it at 1 and 2, 2 and 3. You're like, all right, and then 3, 4, okay, 5, 6. You're like, ugh.
Right. So you can go to 10 once you're 8. Once you're 8 still annoying. Once you're 8 still like fuck, I feel it. But the minute you think you can do one more, you go to 10. You cannot graduate that weight until you can go to 12 and be like, fuck, I can do one more. Because at that point, you need to put more weight on and go back to 8. So it's a humbling, basically his idea is a humbling experience of like, I need to stay on this weight.
Ooh,
and you know what I'm saying? It's
you gotta be humble.
Changed my life.
You gotta be humble in the gym. You have to be confident enough to know you can get the weight, but humble enough not to overlift. Because you will get to the point where you think you're hot shit. You will. You'll get to the point where you think, damn, I put in
I'm the
work.
GOAT.
I got good muscle.
I look good.
I look good. Like I got the 6-pack. I got the big muscles. I got the big chest.
I got
the big
humbled,
arms.
bro. I got humbled.
And then you don't want to overlift because then that stops your gains
It's gonna hurt you, and because then you're just lifting heavy for no immediate purpose. You're ego lifting without even knowing your ego's involved. Like without even knowing your ego's involved, you start to ego lift because you know you can do it. But the 8, 10, 12 rule is you struggle with 8 until you can do 8. 3 sets of 8. And then the moment you do 3 sets of 8 and you're like, I can do one more on the last 3 sets. When you're on the 3rd set and you're like 8 and your mind's like 9, go up and wait. That's the moment you go up. You can, congratulations. Now do 10.
I always just say, like, if you can get to that number that you had in your head, then you can go up in weight.
You can.
Like, if you fail before that, you can just stay at the same weight.
Stay the same weight. And the reason why it's annoying, but it works because you're like so happy to get 8 because you work for 8. Then you go to 10. Then you're like, fuck, 10. And then you go to 12 because it's always 2 more. It's always 2 more. And then when you get 12, yes, go up 10 pounds. Because go up 10 pounds. Because what happens if you go up 10 pounds after that, and now you can do 3 sets of 12, your 10 pounds will be like, okay, I'm strong, go up 10 pounds. I went from 240 to 250. Cool. Now your first set of 8 on 250 is like, oh, I'm that dude. But your second set is like, oh, I remember now. Like, it was like, So my first set, I'm lit, but my second set, I ain't shit. And your third set is like, oh, fuck it. Like, your third set should always be like, fuck it. You need to pull out some type of monster or animal inside of you.
You gotta have that text from that ex-girlfriend in your head.
Yes. That's what a third set should feel like.
And just like have that thought in your head and just like have your gym crush like have it like slip out and like she puts it back in type of shit.
No, but for real, you need to understand what the third set feels like in every aspect, because if you're not angry, pissed off, depressed, or any other emotion on your third set, let me tell you, you're not working hard enough.
Happiness kills gains. You have to be a little like fucked up.
And this is not for like an average workout. This is for like people who want to like build muscle, build hardness, build a mental stability. If you're doing 3 sets of anything, be it 8, 10, or 12, your third set needs to be like, I hate everyone. Mother, I fucking hate you.
Like, if the look in your face is
needs to be like
pure anger,
it needs to be
rage, like you have to be hurting. Like,
you have to be hurting. You have to be hurting.
Like,
because
you got to be like deep diving in that shit.
Even if it's leg day and that's just like either squats or lunges,
bro.
Or even calf raises.
Like Bulgarian split squats.
I see people do that and it hurts my feelings watching people Bulgarian split squat.
Like, you know that shit hurts too.
It does, because you're stretching while doing the opposite on other. I'm just like, I watch people do that. I'm like, so how are you gonna? And then,
but it's so good for you, though.
It's super good for you.
The best things in the gym are the hardest things.
Bro, the balance, I'm just impressed with their balance at first, honestly. I'm not even like, that looks painful, but I'm like, how do you not
you just gotta bounce on your heel.
Like, I was like, I could have.
So, like, the proper way to do it, right, is to start from your toes.
I love my mother, though. I do love her. I love you, Mom.
I love you too, Mom. Love for mothers.
All day.
You want to start in the ball of your feet, and then transfer the weight to your heel, and then go up from your heel.
What? So like, wait, which one? If I was doing a split squat right now,
you want to go down, like put the you want to like stomp up from your heel. That's what I know.
From which foot?
From the leg that you're going down. So like if I'm doing
this one is on the sofa, right?
If I'm like going down and I'm doing a squat and my leg is the one I'm working.
This one's out, yeah.
This is like getting all the pressure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down and put the pressure on this heel.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Because because that gets the quad.
Yeah. From the heel, by the way, squats, they're, hard-ish. But pressure's on the heel and the outside of the foot. Heel and the blade. Like the blade, not the curve on the inside, on the outside, right? And I was recently told, everyone knows this, but they don't do it on purpose. But if you start thinking about it, you're supposed to tear paper. Like, imagine that your feet are on paper and you're supposed to try to tear it because it helps you put the weight on the outside of your foot in the heel. So if you do a squat right now, like a body squat, and you imagine you're trying to tear paper with your feet, you'll actually have more power because it activates your buttons. I'm serious.
That's interesting.
No, bro, if you do this shit right now, you're gonna get the fuck out. I'm serious.
That's interesting because I've been like doing a lot of research on this recently because I've just like really. I've always had an issue with legs. I don't know if it's because I'm tall or just because like of what. But
some people probably have a lot of issues with legs.
But like I don't know like what it was. Like maybe the distance between like my legs and the ground were just too much to where I could get the form and hold it for that long.
Weird bird.
But I still like do it sometimes. Mm-hmm. Well, every week. But I don't know. I just had struggled with it for so long.